Hey guys, hey everyone, it's your girl Twin D and welcome to Let Us Pray. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your support, and always thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for liking them, and guys, that helps to bring this channel up and push it around YouTube so other twin flames can find this channel so they can too be inspired and enlightened, because that's what I'm here for, to help you guys, to help you get back on track, to find out what this twin flame journey is all about. How do you get through this journey, and how do you align yourself to become one with your divine masculine and yourself, which is yourself basically. Anyways, guys, with all that said, do not forget to purchase my book, where you will get all the information that you need on how to help you through this journey. It's a guidebook, guys. It's a guidebook to help you on this journey. Everyone's situation is different, but what we go through as twin flames, it remains the same. It never changes, and everything is in that book. What you should expect, things that are going to happen, things that your divine masculine is going to do, how you should react to those things. If your person is in a relationship with somebody else, what do you do about that? It's in the book. The answers that you seek are inside that book. To purchase it, go to my website, twindy.squared.site. Okay? But you can check the description box for the link. Anyways, guys, this is going to be short. Well, I always say that. But I actually shuffled the cards this time. And I asked God what the message is going to be for tonight. And I got helping others is helping yourself. For the whole law can be summed up in this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. 2, 3, 4. Let me read the passage for you. Helping others is helping yourself. As a child, you did your best to show your appreciation for your beloved ones. Perhaps you made a little clay handprint at school and brought it home as a symbol of your love. You gave what you had, and that was more than enough. It still is. When you're filled with love, it's natural to share it with your fellow beings. And in so doing, you're also helping yourself. Jesus taught that the two most important commandments are to love God and to love your neighbors as yourself. He also emphasized the importance of charitable giving and helpfulness, especially to those who aren't able to help themselves. Let's see if there's more. Okay. It is time to check in on neighbor or close friends or family members. Perhaps someone needs a hand. Or maybe it's time to call that loved one who keeps coming to mind. You can also pray on ways in which you can help in the world, perhaps by donating items to a shelter or volunteering for a charitable organization that you feel passionate about. When you help others, you learn to value yourself. You discover your usefulness, and you fulfill your need to be needed. You also draw closer to God by modeling His compassion toward everyone. For the whole law can be summed up in this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. So basically, guys, in regards to the twin flame connection and how this applies, when you love yourself, which is your divine masculine, you are in turn loving you. And when God sees that you are loving and giving that love within you, God rewards you with everything that you ever desire. Because now it's like you're following in His footsteps, following the law, which is to love others as you love yourself. Your neighbor doesn't have to be the person next door or the next house over. The person you pass on the street, that's your neighbor. The person that's driving by in the car, that's your neighbor. Everyone you come across is your neighbor. And we should always learn to show appreciation for what we have and show our love to others. Thank you. Sometimes some people, they are just waiting for that one person to say hi, to say have a good day, to say good morning, good evening, good night, 555. Sometimes one thing that you say can make someone feel at the top of the world. Sometimes someone may be having a bad day, a terrible day, and with you just giving them a smile and a wave and say, hi, good morning, how are you? Sometimes that will change their life and set a different mood for their day. Sometimes somebody out there may be losing faith and trust in good people, but you giving them a helping hand will prove to this person that there are still good people out there. It's just a matter of you seeing them or meeting them. Because there is good and there is bad. Which is exactly why when you are a child of God, as every twin flame is, as everyone is, we are to always love each other, care for each other no matter what. Even if somebody hurts your feeling, love them. Or love them from afar. Love them because most of the times those people who mistreat you, abuse you, they're going through their own struggles and they do not know how to, I don't know if I should say handle it. I don't know what the situation is. They were manipulated. They were mistreated as well. So for some of them, it's like the only way they know how to love is how they were shown. The only way they know how to act is how they were shown. Which is exactly why when you have somebody mistreating you, you do not do the eye for an eye, because you will just be adding fuel to fire. You will just be giving that person exactly what they wanted. You will just be showing that person that yes, this is the way love is. Sometimes our divine masculines, again, may hurt our feelings, and the only way we know how to react is to be angry. But what caused them to do what they did, to hurt our feelings? What was our action towards them? We need to look deeper, dig deeper. Because as divine feminines, we are filled with so much love. And we don't know how to control it. We just want to give it. Maybe we were giving too much. Maybe we weren't controlling ourselves in the amount of love we were pouring onto our divine masculines. And our divine masculines may not be used to that amount of love being poured onto them. So what do? They don't know how to handle it, so they run. Which is exactly why when you love someone, you're loving yourself. Because if you can look inside someone and see what their issue is, as to why they run from certain things, then you can work on yourself by knowing when to hold back, knowing when to give a lot, knowing when to give a little. And that will help the other person. It's not about being forceful, forcing the person to love you, forcing the person to message you, to contact you, to tell you what's on their mind. You forcing them to do what you want is a form of control, trying to control the outcome, trying to control the person. Because if they don't want to talk and you are forcing them to talk, and then if they don't talk, then you're going to give an ultimatum. If you don't talk to me, I'm going to go walk away. If you don't tell me what you want with me, I'm going to go walk away. And I don't want to hear from you again. Putting pressure on someone because you want your desires to be met. Because you feel like you need to be loved. You feel, divine feminine, that you need that love back that you are giving. But we need to stop and think for a minute. Are we doing too much? Are we pressuring? Are we being forceful? We need to look into ourselves. That's exactly what this journey is about. For us to look into ourselves and see where we're going wrong and fix it. Because when we fix it, we're fixing our divine masculines. This is exactly why we should back off, give them their space. Not only because you are giving them space, but because you want that space. You want to look at the situation from afar. You want to have a wider angled view of the situation so you can analyze what's going on. 222. So you can see clearly what's happening, what's going on, what you are doing as a person, and what effect it has on the other person. You helping somebody else is definitely going to reflect on you. Because that help that you will be given. Because when you start to analyze and you start to see exactly what it is that has been going on, which is exactly why they have the saying, I don't know if it's a saying, but it's always said, like, okay, I don't know, you can put it together, but when the person on the outside can see more than the person that's on the inside. I don't remember how the saying goes. Because you're standing from afar. You're not in the person's position. You are on the outside. So you can see because you're watching them. We can't see ourselves, right? We can't see ourselves. So sometimes we don't know the effect that we're having on others by what we are doing. But if we should take a step back, and that's exactly why that phrase is about, taking that step back, slowing down, start to think, start to look, start to analyze, so we can clearly see what it is that's happening to the person and all the things that are surrounding this person, the effect that it has on this person. And once you start to look at your twin flame connection and such, trust me, things will get much, much more easier for you. And when those wounds come up, it's not for you to just jump and be angry and yell and curse. It's for you to take a look deep down inside and realize our faults. Because everything that the divine masculine brought up out of us, it was buried deep down inside. It was nothing new. It was nothing new. So you being brokenhearted by your divine masculine, as you say, as I say, as all divine feminines say, What was the situation that broke your heart? Did they lie to you? Did they mistreat you? Did they push you away? So when you start to think about it and you start to see what was happening, what you were doing as a divine feminine, then you can heal yourself, then you can heal those wounds. Because you'll realize that, hey, I was doing this. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't know I was doing that. I wouldn't want somebody to pressure me like that. I wouldn't want somebody to be nagging at me like that. I mean, I don't even think I would have an answer for the person, so I wouldn't even know what to say, what to answer them when they ask me questions like that. I know what I want. I know I want the person, but how do I put my life together? How do I say, yes, this is what I want with you. This is where I want us to go when I have no plan. So in order to heal your divine masculines, you've got to heal yourself first. You've got to work on yourself first. When our third eyes are open, we can see much, much more clearly and with understanding. Because with our third eyes open, it's like we're going deeper in our minds and we can see things more clearly. We're not just looking at the surface. Which is why I always say, like for true twin flames, when you realize what this journey is about and what it's going to take to bring this connection together, it's not going to be a yes, no, maybe so thing. It's going to be, how do I do it? It's going to be, how long is it going to take? It's going to be, should I do this? Should I do that? Because now you're seeing deeper. But if you don't have that clear understanding, it's going to be like, no, no, they did this, they did that, they hurt me. This person hurt me. And I'm not going to let this person talk to me ever again. Because you're allowing pain to talk. But with your third eye open, love is speaking. Love is gonna speak. So, in order to bring our connection back together, those wounds have to come up. It's like they have to disappoint me for me to see the things that I have buried deep down inside so I can get over them. And once I get over them, and once I clear what I need to clear, then we can be together. How so? Because you clearing those wounds is going to leave you full with happiness, prosperity, abundance, joy. Because you too are divine beings. And to walk among the angels, you gotta be like purified, reborn. So all those negativity has to get out of you somehow. And somebody had to be the one to get it out of you. Everybody has a role to play in this life. Look at Judas. Somebody had to betray Jesus. And it was Judas. If Judas never did what he did, then Jesus would never have gotten captured and crucified on the cross. So he would never have died for our sins. What if Judas was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And he ran away that night and didn't do it. Then Jesus would have never been captured and we would still be living in sin. not knowing good from bad, not knowing that there's a choice, not knowing what a true love is and unconditional love is, not knowing who God is. So the same for the twin flames. Your divine masculine is the one that has to bring those wounds out of you. Nobody else can do that but yourself. Always look at it that way. Yourself is the only one that can show you your mistakes. Yourself is the only one that can show you what you need to let go. Yourself is the only one that can tell you what you need to hear, and you can't say anything about it because you're talking to yourself. Yourself is the only one that can show you your mistakes and you understand it. If you have somebody else out there telling you what you're doing wrong and your mistakes, as for me, sometimes I'm talking to some clients, subscribers, and they refuse to acknowledge what I'm saying, what I'm telling them, because I'm on the outside. I can see and I can tell them where they're going wrong because of what they're doing and what they're telling me and what I'm seeing. They're telling me no, because the answer is not coming from them. The answer is coming from somebody who does not know them. So automatically, you're wrong because you don't know me. Which is exactly why your divine masculine is the one that's going to show you everything you need to heal. Because they are you, and only you understand you. And only you understand yourself. The same divine masculine, whereas your divine feminine is the only one that's going to show you things you need to heal. Your divine feminine is the only one that's going to react to you the way that you need. You need to see, you need to understand. So you can go sit down and look in that hermit mode and figure out what you need to change, what you need to heal, what you need to get rid of, what you're doing wrong and what you need to do to make you happy. Your divine feminine, they're going to tell you things that are going to let you sit down and think and wonder, is this the way I've been treating people? Is this the way I've been living my life? Because only you can make you truly understand without a if or but or maybe. When somebody else tells you what you're doing wrong, it's hard to accept. You don't even want to listen to the person because you don't know me. You can't tell me what's going on with my life. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know where I'm coming from. But guess who knows? You're a divine person. Yeah, they know because you two have been living the same life. So they're the best person to show you what you need to know, what you need to see, what needs to be brought up, those wounds that you have buried down inside of you that you thought you got rid of. So everything that the divine masculine is doing, as you say, to you, pay attention next time and look what the issue is. And then you start to search within your life and see where it is in your life that you did not like to be treated that way. Or a situation happened that now when somebody does the same thing to you, it triggers you. And then you're going to learn to work on that thing. It's in my book, guys. It's not a question or answer book. It's a guidebook. It's not multiple choice in there. It's essays with the answers. So, divine feminines, you have to learn to love yourself in order to help your divine masculine. Everything you do to you, you do to your divine masculine. Everything your divine masculine do to you, they do for them. Because if you are not healed, then they cannot be healed. And that's why I'm so hard on the divine feminine. Because you have got to realize that you are the key to this whole journey. You are the key to success for this journey. You are the answer to this journey. And the way that they're acting, it's not because they want to. They don't even know they're acting that way. They're doing their job. They're playing their part. They're playing their part like Judas did their part. He wasn't aware of what he was doing, but after the fact, then he was going nuts and crazy because he realized what he had done. Same with your divine masculine. When they realize after their third eye start to open and they start to, that's because the divine feminine has been healing and clearing those wounds. So now the divine masculine can wake up. So when their third eye is now open and they can now see and understand, because the divine feminine has been doing their work, now they can see that, oh my God, I've been treating this person so badly. I can't believe I've been doing this to this person and I love this person so much. Which is exactly why when they come back around, it's like nothing ever happened. Because it's that wound that you're clearing out. You're getting rid of out of you, and then you're getting rid of it out of the divine masculine. So it's like it never existed. It never existed. And then they go through the dark night of the soul. Because now their eyes are open. Now they're ready to transform. All thanks to the divine feminine doing their work. So I just need you divine feminines to start to look into yourself when anything happened between you and your divine masculine. What inside of me is the divine masculine trying to show me by pushing me away, by not answering my text messages, my phone calls? What inside of me do I need to take control of? What do I need to face? What am I fearing? And trust me, when you start to do that, it will be much, much more easier. Purchase my book, guys. It's in there. Much, much more easier. The divine masculines have no control over some of their behaviors and actions because it's already written. It's a plot, and the plot is already written. The script is already written, and they are not yet awakened, so they do not know how to change what they're doing. It happens through you, so you gotta heal yourself so they can awake. Just like you. They can be awakened. Just like you. You weren't awakened until you met your divine masculine. Because they woke you up. They woke you up. And if you were awakened before you met your divine masculine, then there's something different in your life. You can be a spiritual healer, a spiritual teacher, but you don't have to be a twin flame. Which is exactly why there are some people who they were already awakened, because everybody has a part to play in this life. You are already awakened. So you know everything about spirituality. You've already been seeing numbers and stuff like that. You're being guided on your path. And then there's somebody that came into your life and then you said, oh my God, this is my twin flame. No, they don't have to be your twin flame. Because you could be a spiritual teacher, a spiritual healer that is there to help others. You have to remember that when you're aligning yourself, when you're healing, you are going to pull in everything towards you that you deserve, that you desire. That everything that God has planned for you. Your divine masculine woke you up. As twin flames, your divine masculines woke you up. Because that's what their job is, to wake you up. You're not awakened and then your masculine comes along. Your masculine comes along and wake you up. So there's a lot of things to consider. Purchase my book, guys. check the description box below. You'll find the link to purchase my book. You loving yourselves, divine feminine, makes the divine masculine love you even more. And you helping others is eventually helping yourself. Let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, guys. Let me say thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for your support. This one was like a teaching session more than a let us pray. But if that's what God wants me to do, that's what I have to do. And don't forget, guys, to get your protection bracelets. I have them right here. They're not going anywhere. Unless after you purchase them. Get your protection bracelet, guys. This is for women, not only divine feminine, you know, everybody. Purchase them for your family members. And you also get a mantra to activate the stones, which are tiger eye. Their tiger eye is here for protection. And you get a mantra, and you all know how I love my God. So God is involved in that mantra because God is our protector. God is our protector. And there's nobody else who can give us full coverage. Not even those insurance companies. And of course, our money magnet bracelets. This is green aventurine. And this is beautiful. I love these. You know how I started to make these for you guys? I wanted something for myself that for protection and to help with money, of course, because everybody needs money. This is the 3D world we're living in, guys. Everybody needs money. And I started to do my research, but I didn't put the little hearts. They come with little hearts. I didn't, it's just for show, this one. It's like the display. But anyways, guys, this one comes with the earrings, green aventurine. It's on my website, twindholisticboutique.square.site. So I decided to make the green aventurine to help me bring money. And I also say my mantra. And then I say, oh my God, no, I can't keep this for myself. And I was talking to God, and God says, give them to your people. Make them for your people. My subscribers he's talking. And even if you're not a subscriber, share your blessing with everybody. Share yourself with everyone. If you know it's good for you, it must be good for somebody else. That's why I told you that little story. Even though I'm talking about my products. And I also have them for men. The green aventurine. And yes, they are on stretch, so it will fit. It will fit any arm. Because you've got to learn to give in order to receive. And the tiger eye. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I wish for you a lovely night. And I'll see you in tomorrow's Let Go and Let God, everyone. Later.